Good morning, guys. I hope we're all sparkly. Today we're going to talk about health inequalities and what you can do as an individual to effect a positive change to your health. Now, it is very clear and apparent that health inequalities do exist within the healthcare system. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to huff? Are you going to puff? Or are you going to try and effect a positive change to your own health? One of the biggest hurdles that we face is accepting responsibility for our own health. Now, it's not all our fault because we have grown up in a paternalistic NHS and we have believed that the government will act in our best interest, the individual's best interest. But obviously, it has to take account of the collective and try and effect a positive change to the community, not necessarily the individual. However, not realizing that to effect a real change, you must address the person, and that in turn will affect the collective. Now, the NHS does not have the finance to do this, it does not have the resources in manpower, and quite frankly, it isn't interested in this because guess who controls the healthcare system? The pharmaceutical companies. Here, take this, take this. Let's keep you reasonably healthy, but not too healthy, because we want you to have our drugs. The Machiavellian design of our healthcare system sickens me. So how can we battle these giants? Do you know what you can do? You can take personal responsibility for your own health. That will affect a change to your health and that of the collective, because we are all influenced by our surroundings and our environment, and we need to make that a positive environment, and then the world will be a greater place. So, we often hear the comparison between type 2 diabetes and testosterone deficiency. Now, it's a good comparison because they are both, in theory, preventable diseases, as long as obviously you do not have an organic cause for your primary or secondary hypogonadism. So when you come to think about testosterone deficiency, there is something called a functional hypogonadism, and the obvious culprits are anabolic steroids, antidepressants, traumatic brain injury, PTSD, opiate abuse, alcohol abuse, being a chunky monkey. Yes, I'm pointing at you, because the average person is a chunky monkey when we relate it to nature. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's what the record spins. Though the average man and woman is obese when you compare them to other animals within nature. I've made this statement before. If you're too fat as a predator, you won't catch the prey, and if you're too fat as a prey, the predator will pick you off first. Survival of the fittest. So be the fittest. Makes sense. So, type 2 diabetes. You have literally eaten yourself into a chronic, preventable disease. It's taken effort, real effort. You've systematically abused the crap out of your body, day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out. You get the picture? It's taken dedication, perseverance. You've given in to temptation way too many times, not realizing that to effect a change to your own health, you need to take responsibility. Now, there's a lot of misinformation out there. The NHS food plate blows, but there's enough information out there for you to use your noggin and decide, what do you want to do? I'm going to go to the doctor. I'm going to go and get this magic pill that is going to prevent me from needing to do what I should be doing. That is eating a proper balanced diet and engaging in regular physical exercise. Earning your reward. That is what this is all about. Now, we do live in a very superficial world, and we feel that we're entitled to everything and anything that we desire. And once you realize that is a misnomer and false, you will realize that effort will bring about the greatest reward. If you are given something, you do not appreciate the true value of the goal. Now, if your goal is materialism, poor you. If your goal is physical and psychological well-being, more power to you, because that's what this is all about. And community, and recognizing your place in society, and I mean the world, not necessarily just community, in the human species. We have the power. Who has the power? We have the power to effect a positive change to the human species and this planet. But no, let's sit back and wait for it to come to us. No, go out there, kick ass, because that's what you need to do. If you go to your doctor and your doctor says you have type 2 diabetes, you can have medication, and you will be encouraged to have medication, as well as engage in regular physical exercise and diet. But that's a sort of, that's a little bit of an aside. Have these drugs. These drugs will set you free. All drugs have side effects, all of them. An acquaintance was stuffing his face, and I looked at him in horror, and he goes, doesn't matter, I'm on a statin. And it's this attitude that will be our demise. It is quite scary. But the healthcare industry, research, is heavily financed by the pharmaceutical industry, who have an investment to protect. When we think about testosterone deficiency, and we think about the medication for that, body identical, if you're on a gold standard TRT protocol, side effects, if you are balanced and you have healthy male androgen levels, how can there possibly be negative side effects? Well, there can be under the NHS with your peak and trough, and there can be under the private sector who don't show due diligence. But with daily microdosing and subscribing to the philosophy of maintaining function and optimizing your androgen levels with testosterone, it kind of makes sense that healthy male androgen levels that mimic your natural physiology can be nothing but beneficial to your physical and psychological well-being. Now, there is a titration process, so don't think it's wham bam thank you ma'am, but we are constantly working to make you healthy. But you have to appreciate the need to put the effort in and take responsibility for your own health. Look at your lifestyle, look at your diet, look at your training, look after this, because we live in a society that is manipulating us via fear, and we are oversaturated with information. We don't ever concentrate on anything. You're not supposed to know the truth. You're not. This model, this machine is very strong and it's very powerful. So the only way that you're going to affect a change to your own health is looking after it. So, type 2 diabetes, testosterone deficiency. it's quite a nice comparison, but it's very clear that the pharmaceutical industry holds the chains, and we need to realize that actually we need to take responsibility for our own health, and that way you will deserve your dopamine reward.